So this is me, about to realise that my owl is never coming. But let me take you back a few weeks to tell you the story. So I've been rewatching the Harry Potter films recently, and I want to cast some goddamn spells. And I've had many ones in my time of being a Harry Potter fan, but none of them have ever cast real spells, because, well, magic isn't real. But call me the fucking hacksmith, because I'm about to make that shit real. Realistically, there's only so much I can do. Each one can only have one spell, so we're gonna have to make a few different ones if we want a few different spells, but let's just get started with the easiest one, Lumos. So I've had some ideas on how to make the first one. We've got two halves of a wand here that I 3D printed with some space for an Arduino and an LED and a little accelerometer so we can swish it and flick to turn it on. But just having an LED isn't Lumos, we want an orb of light. And I remember back in the day, Noble Collection had these ones that had a little orb at the top that kind of looked like hot glue. So what I've done is I've created this mold here that when it goes together, there's a little hole in the top. You can fill that up with hot glue and we should have the tip of a wand that will hopefully create an orb. Maybe. So that didn't work. Try as I might, even with a knife, I could not get the hot glue to come out of there all in one go. Who'd have thunk it? Hot glue's sticky. So I reprinted out the mold, and I was reading that hot glue doesn't stick so well to smooth surfaces, so I took it downstairs to grab some surface primer, and then I primed that bad boy outside. This will hopefully give it a smoother surface, and I even read about putting grease on there, so if we take a bit of candle wax and we shove that on there, hopefully if we try this again, we will actually get a good mold. Lumos. See, it's not quite as good as a Noble Collection one. The LED is not quite as strong, and the orb is literally just a bit of moulded hot glue. But it flicks on and off, so that's kind of cool. But I promise the next one's going to be better. The next one is going to be... So, I can't lie, this is kind of trash. We need something that does a bit more, something with fire. I don't know if you've seen these ones that have been on like TikTok and on shorts and stuff, where you press the button and a little bit of flame shoots out the top of them. They're kind of cool. I want to make a less polished version of one of those. Want to be in a video? Yeah. Ugh. You wanted to be in the video? Is that it? The problem with those TikToks and shorts is the fact that no one ever does anything interesting with them. They shoot them across the room. Are you getting down? I want to make some proper fire. So how these things work is they have a little heating element made from nichrome. And when electrons pass through that, the internal resistance creates heat, and quite a lot of heat. Enough heat that we can ignite some flash paper, which has a really low ignition temperature. So what we need is a couple of 18650 batteries in a battery pack we can plug into the thing, a little Arduino to control everything, a button for us to interact with, a MOSFET which can move the current from the battery into the nichrome wire, and then the nichrome wire itself, and then a ceramic tip so we can contain the fire and hopefully shoot the flash paper out the end of it. And all that goes into a 3D printed case, much like pretty much everything else I make. I was up until like 4 o'clock this morning trying to get all these electronics together and get them working, and I did get them working, and I filmed a little test of the flash paper with it, and the microphone wasn't working. So here's me burning my fingers with some flash paper to test it was working, and here is the nichrome wire actually setting the flash paper on fire. Pretty cool, but now we need to put on the finishing touches, so like actually fit all the electronics inside of the case, close it up, glue it together, paint it, test it. So let's take all this stuff down to the shed and get that done. So I got a new shed, and this is where we're going to do all the final bits. We're going to do the painting, we're going to do the gluing. It's going to be sick. So if you wanted to see a tour of this new shed and my new office and how I've set everything up so I can make things, then you can head over to my Patreon, link in the description, and I'll put it down as a free gift that you can get on there. Just sign up for free and then you'll be able to see it. But don't go anywhere just yet, because we're going to be painting and then we're going to be testing and we're going to do fire. Fire. You love fire. You love fire so much. Fire. Before we get to painting it and gluing everything together and I cannot open it or do anything with it ever again, we are going to quickly test to make sure that it actually definitely works. Can you tell it's hot in here? So from what I can tell from videos online, the little TikTok ones use little bits of flash paper that have been like all balled up and rolled up. So I'll try that in the top and see if it works. So I've got a little bit of rolled up flash paper here. If we put it in the top here. Okay, so I've got my flash paper in the top, battery here to connect, plug the battery in, and well, it didn't really shoot out, did it? Okay, so take two. I've got this way more filled up now. Hopefully it contains more. I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, that definitely didn't work even as well as the first time. Maybe the trick is to use less. Find out. It could be that I'm not letting this this dry out enough, but the first one works. I thought I dried them out the same, but I did blow on that one a bit, so maybe that was the reason. I'll try a little bit more. Made them a bit shorter so they don't stick out the end as much. Maybe. Ooh, that one was quite good. That one was quite good. Shoot out very far though. Ooh. I think that's good enough. I think we can paint this bad boy. So it's painted now. I don't know whether I'm going to do the wood grain. I was going to, but I don't know whether I can be bothered, so probably not. It'll just be brown, that's fine. But I was testing out how far I could get the flash paper to go, and I got this one, but throughout some more testing, my nichrome wire, the nichrome wire in the end has come apart, and I've glued the ceramic tip on, so getting to it is going to be interesting.
A few moments later.
Tried to get the ceramic tip off, and now I just feel like I'm going to go and tell Malfoy to eat slugs.
Eat slugs!
I may have to come back when I've got a plan of attack as to how to fix this. Okay, so it was a couple of days later now, and I've fixed the nichrome wire. I've lengthened it a little bit, made a few more coils, so it doesn't get quite as hot, but it's still hot enough to ignite the flash paper. I've also put on a new ceramic tip, and all of them in the bag were smaller than the first one that I put on for some reason, so there's a little gap here, but that's fine. Hopefully this works now, and hopefully I know how to set it up properly so it shoots. No. Yeah, okay, that goes far. We can do something with that. I'm using the phrasing very far quite loosely here. That's obviously not very far at all. It's not as far as they go in the TikTok ones, but to be honest, I never really thought I was going to make it go that far. What I really want to do is I want to make some bigger fires, so we need to get in costume and go make some big fire. What I've got here is a flour dispenser, because if you don't know, when you particulate flour, you increase its surface area and it's supposed to become quite flammable. I found, however, it is not that flammable. So I tried multiple times and... Woo! Look at that! Wow! I basically had to switch to using Lacanum Inflammare from Philosopher's Stone to set this bit of paper on fire, and then I blew the flower at that. I think that's about the best that I'm getting with that. So, what have we learned from this? Probably that I'm the world's worst wizard in existence. But I might also be the only one in existence, so I guess that kind of also makes me the best. I think that deserves a like and subscribe.